Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Stream Squad. So we've got a great show for you guys today. This week in our news flash, Mario Balotelli goes live after scoring a big goal. We're also going to talk about what's up between Steven Spielberg and Netflix. Jimmy's going to go over a definitive audio guide for you guys, and then we're going to discuss how the platform you're streaming to influences the way your content is created. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment.
Every Wednesday at 2 p.m.
Hey Jimmy, do that intro again because I didn't unmute the mic.
Welcome to our show, Stream Squad, where we help you level up your live video. If it's your first time watching, I'm Jimmy.
I'm Angela.
And I'm off to a great start.
Yay!
Yes, indeed. We're here every Wednesday at 2 p.m. It's kind of like deja vu right now. I feel like I've said this before. We're here every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Right here on Facebook.com/SwitcherStudio. So please, if you're watching this on a replay, come over and see us when we're live here on Facebook. For everybody who's here right now, we're so glad to have you. Please share this video out right now to all of your friends, to all your pages and whatnot. We'd love to have a bunch of people watching. We're going to have a discussion later on today, and we really want to have your comments about these different topics we're going to talk about. So please share this, comment. Dan's going to be watching along. I've got my computer right here, so I can read everything that you're saying as well, and we're just excited to have you here with us. And with that being said, let's just get into our news flash.
So this week, to start off News Flash, we're going to be talking about how sports and spontaneous live video came together this past weekend. So this past Sunday, there was a soccer game. Marseille played Saint-Etienne, and there was a special moment that happened during that game. So Marseille's striker, his name is Mario Balotelli, he scored a winning goal. And as soon as he did, he rushed off the field, grabbed his phone, and actually recorded a video for Instagram stories. So this was unexpected. Everyone kind of went crazy as he did it, but he was able to show not only his celebration, but the real-time celebration he had with his other teammates as well as the fans. As he's doing it, his teammates are swarming him. You can see the fans going crazy behind him. And the media has been loving this story. This video has been viewed over 2 million times since he posted it. Media's been featuring how great it was to see him do this, especially the people who were following him on Instagram and could see him do this in real time while they're watching the game. And, you know, it's interesting to see how this has occurred. I think probably about 5 years ago, it would have been baffling or almost seen as silly for someone to go and do this and grab their phone mid-game and celebrate on a live video. But in today's, you know, situation, social media has taken over so much that, you know, it's heralded, it's celebrated. People are saying this was a great idea for him to do. You know, personally, I think there are going to be a lot of sports stars that are going to start doing this after seeing the reaction. But it's also interesting to see how integrated social media is with us, where this is something that has gone from being, why would he think about his phone in the middle of a game, to, oh my God, what a great idea for him to celebrate with his fans like this.
Dan is always saying, I mean, we talked about it last week, just go live right now.
Just gotta go live.
You just gotta go live.
And that's all it was. There was nothing rehearsed. If you haven't seen the video, it's literally him holding his phone and going, yay, I got a goal. And everyone's behind him going, yay. And that's it. And 2 million views.
I haven't tested this, but I bet you if you went to Google right now and searched B,
Yeah.
I bet it would show up.
Like Balotelli.
It would auto fill into Balotelli, or if you did BA for sure, it would fill in with the story.
Yeah.
It's just it's a cool story. It's just it's one of those examples of someone just, going live, getting out there and doing it, like we say.
If you saw this happen live, please let us know in the comments what you thought about this, or if you just even tuned in to see it. I remember I watched it and I thought it was just it's just hilarious. But really cool. You just got to go live sometimes. Just show people what you're doing right now. And in the case of Mr. Balotelli, he was scoring a goal and probably making a lot more money than any of the rest of us combined. So congratulations to you, sir, on your use of social media for sure. Great little news flash for you. We're going to have one more story we're going to talk about in our news flash today about Steven Spielberg and Netflix. And you might be thinking, why are we talking about this sort of stuff on a show about live streaming? But there's an interesting sort of debate going on between Steven Spielberg. He recently came out and said that he doesn't believe that Netflix should be involved in the Academy Awards, and he'd like to bring that up to the governing body since he's deeply involved in the Academy Awards, because he feels like since Netflix is is meant for home consumption, it's really more, it should be reserved for award shows like the Emmys, which are really supporting different shows that are created for that different medium. Some of opponents to Spielberg's opinion are claiming that Netflix really just has a much larger distribution. So there's really it's a great platform just for the sheer fact that they're available in over 190 countries, whereas movies that you have to see in the theater, you have to get up and go to the theater to see them. There's a barrier there for some people. So there are definitely people on both sides of this issue. I think Bruce Campbell, famously for the, what's the movie that he was in? Not Night of the Living Dead.
I know this one.
Evil Dead.
Yeah.
It was Evil Dead. So Bruce Campbell came out, and he's not on the same page as Steven Spielberg. So just as a kind of a platform, or really more of a place where we're going to jump off from for a segment later on in our show for our Switch It Up, we want to ask you all, what do you think about this sort of debate? The question really here is, does the platform drive the content, or really does the content drive the platform? Are movies only made for the theater, or is Netflix really making it so that these these different movies and this different content can be supported? We're going to try to frame that up in sort of in light of Facebook and YouTube as platforms. Also thinking about live content and on-demand content. What is the way that you would like to consume that stuff, and is the content is the creation of the content informed by basically how it's going to be consumed? So we're going to talk about that. We're going to ask a few questions around that idea. We want to get your opinions on that, so please leave in the comments what your thoughts are. We're going to answer live what we're thinking. So yeah, like right over here. Well, over beyond Dan now, but
depending on where you're watching.
Or depending on how you're watching, yeah. So please, stick around for that, chime in. We want to hear your opinion on this issue. I feel like it's something that's going to be kind of developing the way that we see the future of all the stuff that we're consuming on the internet and Facebook and YouTube, how we're watching video. It's an important kind of question, and we want to know what you think about it. So stick around for that later on the show. We're going to get to that.
So getting into the comments, speaking of that, I see Orlando's here, Alston, Moses, Brandon, I see, from WeStream. Hello, Renee. Yeah, all sorts of. Dominic's here. I know he said he hadn't been here for a while.
Yes, he hasn't. I haven't seen Dominic here in a minute.
Yeah, Dominic says Graham Walker, who we've shown Graham a few times.
Graham's been featured. He's been on hashtag madewithswitcher.
Featured. They're both making some great stuff. So yeah, they just said they held the first ever UK Switcher Studio meetup. They need teachers for the club. Dominic, send us some pictures. Message me some pictures if you have some from that. We'll show them on the stream maybe or something. Like right now, I'd love to see those. Yeah, see Ewan in here too, another person we've featured. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Please comment below. Let us know what you think about this Spielberg Netflix thing. We're going to discuss that and a whole bunch more later on. But before we get to that in our Switch It Up segment, let's first get to our live video strategy.
All right, everybody. So today in our live video strategy, I went ahead this morning and
that was supposed to be a multi-view, just so you know.
Oh, was it?
I'm 0 for 2 right now.
It's no big deal. It's okay, man. You're fine.
Cut off the music.
Don't worry about it.
What do you got for us, Jimmy?
So really, I wanted to do a lot more, but You'll see in a moment. I wanted to kind of show you all some different examples of audio. We got a ton of questions about audio, and without trying to get too technical and nitty-gritty, I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a demonstration just to give you an idea of what happens when you connect different types of microphones to your iOS device. So some people are used to using the headphones, some people are have different equipment for mixers, some people have just like one shotgun mic. So what I did was I started connecting a couple different microphones and just trying to demonstrate how they sound. And well, you'll see how it goes after this video. So please check this video out where I'm going to be connecting a bunch of different microphones. Maybe you'll see something that you'd like to add to your setup. What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to give you a few different options you have when it comes to connecting audio to your smartphone. One of the first ones that people always try to use are these guys right here, the headphones that come with it. But I'm going to show you how to connect those. I'm also going to show you how to utilize one of these. I'm going to have to do a more extended video of this. For now, we're just going to leave the video where it's at, and I hope you've enjoyed watching it so far. But please go over to our YouTube channel and do subscribe so that whenever we release that video, you get to see it immediately. So please check out our YouTube channel, subscribe, and you'll get to see that video as soon as it's published. Thanks again for watching. I'm just gonna have to do a little bit more. Please head over to our YouTube if you're not already subscribed. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel so when I do post that complete video with all those different comparisons, you can get a vibe for how those different setups sound for you. Maybe if you're not already using a dedicated microphone for your streams and you just have the camera sitting out there, you can think about maybe adopting one of these different sort of setups so that you can improve the sound quality. You know, just doing this, I definitely noticed, like even just with the headphones, it's just astronomical improvement for how much better that sound is when you've got a microphone really close to the sound of the source of the sound, which is like, you know, your voice making the sound. So anything you can do to try to improve the sound, I'm always in favor of. So hopefully that helps you start thinking about some different things you can do.
Yeah, and for more tips just like these, whether it's audio or anything else to help you out with your live video, be sure to take a look at our blog. So it's easy to get to. It's switcherstudio.com/blog, and we've got all kinds of helpful info like this. If you guys are not using Switcher Studio yet, the info in the blog is information that can be used by all content creators. But of course, we do have tips and tricks for using Switcher Studio as well. And the cool thing about the blog is there is a subscribe feature. So when you're on the website, if you put your email address in and then click subscribe, what it's going to do is send you an email every time there's a new blog article. There's about one a week. You don't have to worry about spam or anything like that. All it's going to do is send you a link to that article whenever a new one's up so that you always get the latest and greatest tips. And the cool thing is we write those. So
us.
You're hearing from us when you look at our blog.
Please read our words in addition to watching us say them. But yeah, go read them. It's pretty cool.
So you got one more subscriber, I guess, Brandon from WeStream
Yay!
just said,
All right.
I can't believe I wasn't subscribed to the YouTube channel.
Man, you got to go do it. We should put the subscribe link in there. You know how to do that? I
can do that.
Okay,
okay.
I'll
do that later.
It's like the direct link that you could type. Anyhow.
Yeah.
I might do it here in a second. But
I'll let Jimmy hop in.
I'll try to remember how to format it, but anyhow.
So that's going to be our live video strategy. Cool piece. Now let's switch over to our Switch It Up segment. All right, you know what? I'm going to bring myself back in here, get everybody going again. So we kind of, we were discussing in our Monday meeting, we were talking about what was going on in the industry and everything, and there's that whole, the Spielberg versus Netflix, and talking about, is watching a movie in a theater the same as watching it on a computer, or, and like, are those things the same? Are they different? I saw we did get a couple comments in there, but we kind of want to discuss that and bring that back into live video as well, because I think there are a lot of questions that we can be talking about for that. So I don't know. I guess we'll start with this first question that we had up here. Let me make sure I get.
Yeah, let's go with the initial sort of question that we were asking out there. I guess this is the crux of it. Does the content drive the platform? I mean, Steven Spielberg's all mad. You mad, bro? But I think he's got a valid point. I guess he's trying to say, like, movies made for the cinema are meant to be consumed in a certain way, so the awards ceremony around them should be reserved for the movies from a specific platform. I think that's his argument. So I guess the question here is, for me, is like, well, does that mean like the content is being driven by the platform? Like, I think in his eyes, movies are being specifically made so that they can be in a theater. And I think Netflix and I think some other people, I mean, I'm kind of against, I'm not really with that. I'm like, Netflix is a movie is a movie, you know?
That's exactly what Dominic said in the comments. Right? And that's exactly what I kind of feel like too, is a movie's a movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, what if I wish I could go to the theater more often, but I remember growing up, I used to wait till movies like ended up on HBO, and like I could watch a movie when it was like, oh, cool, now it's on HBO. Or we would like go rent it down the store we had Roadrunner Video was down the street, and we used to we would rent video games, and we would rent like VHSs, eventually DVDs, but like we didn't watch movies in the theater necessarily. I mean, we watched them at home, not from a premiere. We waited we would just wait for them to show up. So this is different for me.
I mean, like, I can see where he's coming from, but I mainly see where you're coming from, in my opinion. Like, the way I kind of think about it is, you know, depending on your content, I think it does drive the platform. Like, for instance, we just went over Mario Balotelli and, you know, just his spontaneous live, and that's perfect for Instagram Live or even Facebook Live, but you wouldn't really upload it to your YouTube channel. So I'm thinking in Spielberg's mind, he's thinking, you know, movies that go in theaters are so polished because they have to be on a big screen. And you know, when you're watching something on a TV or a phone, it doesn't have to be made in as high of a quality because it's going to look good because it's smaller. But times are changing and people are consuming it different. So, you know, award centers like the Academy Awards are going to have to adapt. Like, I used to go to the movie theaters every week in high school. My friends and I, every single week, we were at the theater on Saturday night. And now I go to maybe 3-4 movies a year, if that. And the whole time I'm complaining about the cost of it. And I've got, you know, we've got a TV at home. We've got Netflix and Hulu and Prime and everything. We've got a popcorn maker. It's like, I don't need to go to the theater. I can watch it at home. So I feel like more and more people are doing that. So the Academy Awards are going to have to adapt to these, and they're made fantastically. These Netflix movies and Hulu movies and stuff, they're still great movies. They're produced well. It's not like someone just threw it together.
I don't think the awards have to even adapt. I just think people need to, I don't think there's I don't think there's a distinction.
A movie's a movie.
A movie's a movie. I mean, is it because somebody had to go to like a Hollywood studio or a New York studio to get it like produced? I mean, movies on Netflix are still not just like completely funded by Netflix. I mean, they're investors, and there's a whole sort of where the money comes from.
They've got like A-list actors and stuff.
Yeah, it's like they're premiered on Netflix. It's just a different place where they're premiered. So I don't fully agree with that idea, but I don't know.
Yeah, Dominic in here again says, Jimmy, if you buy a checkered shirt from The Gap and I buy one from American Eagle, we both have checkered shirts, right?
That's true. This one's from H&M, actually, so just so we're all on the same page here.
So let's kind of try and rope this back into, I mean, sure, we talk about movies being shot on iPhones and whatnot, so I think we're getting to that point. But for a lot of our viewers and you all out here, you're probably creating content on Facebook and YouTube. And I think that's kind of another similar situation and I'd love to hear people comments and opinions in the
leave a comment. Here. Like Ernesto had one here I'll get to in a second.
Yeah, it's like, are there different expectations between Facebook content versus YouTube? So if Ernesto has a comment.
Well, I'm going to say what Phil Moak said first. He said, we're looking to put edits for our shows on Amazon Prime, even though I originally thought that they were more of a live Facebook thing. So that's a comment, and then that's an idea, but Ernesto kind of follows up with a similar kind of idea that Steven's main argument is that made-for-TV movies are cut for time and paced for commercial breaks. But Netflix movies don't have either one of these limitations. So yeah, definitely good points made by two consistent viewers of this show. I guess I would say for sure. Definitely good points there. Appreciate your input on that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's like if it's made for like to have commercial breaks, then I guess there's a different sort of consideration. But I mean, Netflix, they're not commercial. They're not made for commercials. I mean, there's TV shows that are on Netflix. Those are made for TV, but the movies, the ones that are like full feature-length films, I don't know why they shouldn't be also eligible. But it kind of goes back to the deeper question. Let's maybe move it away from specifically Netflix and go towards the more kind of broader sense of platforms. We had a couple other questions we were going to try to get to that we'd like to have your all's feedback on. We had this on there up there earlier. Are there different expectations between Facebook content and YouTube? What do you think the differences are between Facebook and YouTube? What are you anticipating? Do you view Facebook content differently than YouTube? Do you create for Facebook differently than you create for YouTube? What do you think?
So for me, it's a definite yes. Like, to me, I don't know what it is, but when I think Facebook videos, I think live. When I think YouTube, I think recorded. Like, I have honestly never watched a live video on YouTube. If I get a notification that someone's live, I go back and rewatch it later once it's not live. And to me, I expect the YouTube content to be more polished and precise and jump cuts and filters and all this stuff, and everything's perfect. And with Facebook, I expect it to be, I mean, just what we're doing on the show. We have a casual Stream Squad episode where we're live, we're talking to each other, we're talking to the viewers, we're going with the flow pretty much. And then we had the snippet of the video you just made on audio, which is a lot more precise. And to me,
I'll upload it later to YouTube when I'm done with everything.
As a recorded video.
It will.
And then the way I consume those is different too. Like, I'll consume both on a computer, but it's not my preferred platform for either. When I'm watching live video, whether it's Facebook Live or Instagram Live, I like it on my phone. I don't know what it is, but I like having it on my phone. And when I'm watching a YouTube video, I like it on my TV. I will actually make a note, like a mental note, like, hey, this subscriber you follow just upload a video, go home and watch it. And I'll wait till I get home and watch it on my TV. And I think a part of it is that nuance. Like, I'm expecting live video to be interactive, so I want my phone where I can type my comments. And for YouTube, it's more polished, so I want that kind of cinematic experience where I'm on my couch and I'm watching.
That's a good point. The engagement sort of, you want to engage with Facebook, whereas with YouTube, it's a little bit more passive. I'm looking at some of the comments here. Dominic saying the difference is only related to the audience they target. Ewan Smith, Facebook is short term, YouTube is longer term. I've only used Facebook Live for music performances with Switcher Studio, of course. Good point, Ewan. Definitely like that. Facebook is more live. This is Dominic. Facebook is more live. YouTube is more pre-recorded, polished. For me, for my daughter, she has never watched Facebook video. So yeah, definitely different sides of this. I really like the comments we're getting here on this. I mean, this is the crux of it. I think for Facebook, we're looking for direct engagement with you all and with the viewer. And I think YouTube generally does have a little bit more of a passive. I think overall, I think YouTube, you still can do that stuff, right? But with Facebook, you're kind of expecting to dive in and do that sort of like really engage with people specifically. So yeah, man, let's move on to maybe one more of the questions, like general debate sort of things that we were going to talk about.
Let me get another one of these up here.
There's one about live and on demand, or
let's do that right there. How's that for a question?
Yeah, there you go. So,
are there different expectations for live versus on-demand content? We kind of talked about this too, or you guys are kind of hinting towards it, and I'll let you guys talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, we want to hear. Yeah, what are your all's comments? If we frame the question this way, what do you think, Dominic and Phil, getting in here? Big time appreciating your input on this. Terry Stewart chiming in. If you have several Facebook pages, it's easier to drive your followers to YouTube, especially if you are looking to monetize. That's an excellent point to add in there. When it comes to live versus on-demand content, I feel like all of our live content is generally here on Facebook. We've gone live once or twice. I mean, I personally have gone live once or twice with Switcher to YouTube, just on a few occasions, but it's not as often because I feel like we can interact more on Facebook. We have more followers on Facebook than we do on subscribers on YouTube, And I think it goes back to what you said. I mean, when it comes to live or on-demand, the on-demand is like more passive. The live is like interactive and you're ready to engage. I mean, that's the way I look at it. What do you all think?
I mean, I think a good way to kind of, you know, break it down, because I went over this a little bit in the last comment, but, you know, just thinking, you know, since you just mentioned Ewan, I'm thinking tutorials, because that's the kind of videos he makes. I think of what I look for in tutorials when they're recorded or whether they're live. And if I go onto YouTube and I'm searching for a tutorial, I want something that's normally, you know, 2 to 3 minutes max. It's precise, the audio's great, the visual's great, and it's like, hi, this is how you do it, step one. Like, there's no anecdote to it, there's no like, oh, let's listen to the catchy music. It's like, this is how you do what you're trying to do. And if I watch a live video, I want that demonstration. I want, how did you get started with this? Why is it useful? Let's walk along. Okay, someone has a question, let's stop for like 4 minutes. I'm gonna answer their question, now we're gonna keep going. And I want that interactivity. I'm expecting 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes in that, but I would never watch a YouTube tutorial that's that long. And if someone did a live demonstration that was like 30 seconds, I'd feel like I wasted my time pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, why did I turn on your live video?
There is like, it's like a goal to make, how short can you make this like tutorial video? I think we still, Dan was, when I think you originally made most of our tutorials on YouTube, and it was first called 30-second tutorials because it was like, how quickly can we get the information?
As fast as possible.
Exactly. I think it goes back to that.
Here's a question too that I like to ask and hear what you guys say in the comments as well. Along this, so we normally do go live on Facebook. That's where we do our live show. If you guys saw tomorrow that Switcher Studio was live on our YouTube channel, what video would you A, like to see on there, and B, do you think we would be doing for a YouTube live? Or Jimmy, like if you were going to produce some YouTube live videos, what kind of stuff do you think
I feel like maybe we'd almost do like an Ask Me Anything sort of thing, or maybe do some sort of kind of like webinar stuff. It could be okay for YouTube. I'm not 100% sure. We try to do a good mix of like a couple different segments here, like where we have just sort of an open forum and discussion where we're getting your comments on stuff. And then also we've got the live video strategy. I think we're trying to develop a lot more of that strategy stuff so that you have better ideas when it comes to going live. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what sort of content we'd pack into. There's a lot of like self-help that people do with YouTube where they're like, oh, I want to learn how to do something or better myself with something. And I think Facebook has some of that, but Facebook is a little bit more sort of interactive in what's going on right now. Like, let's socialize, like, let's tell your opinions, whereas YouTube is kind of like growing and getting better at stuff. LinkedIn is that way as well, where it's like, I want to learn how to do this topic that's very career related. So I don't know. I don't know what we would do. We'll take your all's suggestions for sure.
I see Ernesto pop into the comments as well a whole bunch. Ernesto's like right next door. Ernesto, if you want to come over and just like talk, you know, I'll give you my mic. So come on down, man.
We could we should video chat him in.
Yeah, or just video chat him in.
I could just send him a link right now. This would be crazy if I just send it to him. Like, Ernesto's on the show now. Oh man, that'd be awesome.
Well, let's do it then, right?
I don't know.
Ernesto, you still watching?
See how quickly I can do that. I don't know. Should we move on or should I try to do it?
I don't know.
This would be hilarious. I don't know. Let's see. Let's just see.
You guys want to see it?
Let's just see what happens. Here, I'll video chat. I've got it open.
I'll go through some of these things.
We're logged in as me, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so let me just Slack Ernesto.
Zoom.
Let's just get him in here on video chat real quick.
Yeah, Ernesto's saying I think it's easier to get more engagement on Facebook, even when you're starting off with live video. I agree. I think Facebook's a lot easier to create a group.
When you open when you go to video chat, you just need to remember not to mute us, but he can
manual mode.
Get him in there. Yeah, I'm gonna have him here, so I'm gonna have to keep the volume down. But yeah, let's do this. It's like, who cares? I'll turn the volume down. Or actually, what you should do is put it on manual mode and then just mute me over there.
Yeah,
that's what you should do.
Or, oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah, do it like that.
We're gonna do this live. For those of you
we're just
who
doing
don't know, you could do video chats in Switcher. Hopefully, Ernesto's watching long enough still and gonna.
We'll see. Maybe he's there. I mean, I slacked him. We'll see. I just.
Oh, he's here with the winky face. Everyone's saying do it.
Do it. Yeah, let's get Ernesto in here. Switcher's connected, waiting for others to join. Are you in the room? Oh, here he comes. You got him?
All right, I've got Nesto now unmuted.
And we got all three. Let's get all three cameras up. I don't see Ernesto's. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
How's it going? I'm going to turn your
There's
volume
Ernesto.
down really low. Hopefully, we need to make sure everybody can hear us and Ernesto because we've got ourselves in coming through.
So I've got right now. Hold on, let me do like a crazy multi-view here so everyone can see us.
Do all three. I got to turn down. Hey, man, I'm sorry, I'm ignoring you. I've got to.
Oh, you're fine.
I've got to turn the our stream down. But
All right,
yeah, man.
there's
So,
everybody live right now.
so what do you think about this?
It's a really great discussion, actually. I'm in the middle of actually writing a blog article about YouTube versus Facebook, so it's very relevant. You know,
Awesome.
It's a good discussion. But yeah, like for me, like I love to watch really long form content on YouTube. I will watch 1 hour long shows on YouTube regularly, but I don't do that on Facebook for the most part. I think one big difference is the ability for me to watch those shows on my TV. I think YouTube makes that easier, even though Facebook does have a TV app now. It's much easier for me to cast a show from YouTube onto my TV and watch it and subscribe to it. And then I have my regular subscriptions that show up. I just go down the list, next show, next show. So for me, long-term content and well-produced content is king on YouTube. Whereas Facebook, for me, short form content, maybe like 1 to 2 minutes, a quick view, or live video like we're doing today. I think that's the key thing that Facebook exceeds at. And I think particularly because they are a social platform, even if you're just starting off in live video, you already have tons of friends that are following you, and you're able to share that video with them. They can share the video with their friends. You can get more viewers a lot faster on Facebook than you could starting off on YouTube.
Yeah, I think you're echoing a lot of what we're thinking about, just kind of generally on this kind of topic of how people are consuming it. And I think the original sort of thought going into this, or the original question, is really is about content versus platforms. And there's always this sort of discussion around this. And is it like, I think it's that does the content, is it defined because of the way the platform is, or does the platform exist because of the content? I think YouTube is really developed because of the way that people have posted their videos to it, and the way that it's grown is it's kind of developed that way because of more and more of the same. And I think with Facebook, it's kind of like the platform has sort of, because it started as a social thing, I think we want to engage. So YouTube, it's like the content has driven the platform, and I think for Facebook, the platform has driven the content because it's made to be consumed a little faster. So I don't know, that's my take on this. I mean,
Yeah,
we can.
I agree with that.
People in the comments for sure saying that Facebook or YouTube is a lot of work to build audiences, and I completely agree. I think we're putting out a lot of really good content. Jimmy's leading that on ours, and we're at what? About 4,000?
Hey, we're probably at 1 million now after this show. I mean, who knows? I mean, I'm not even going to bother looking, but I know we're just through the roof. Now, we're trying to hit 5,000, so we definitely want you, I pinned the link in the comments. Please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, everybody. We really want you to do it. We've been talking about this topic for a long time, and I'm really loving the comments. I'm glad we got you in here, Ernesto, just kind of on a whim, using video chat. We were like, hey, let's do it.
Hey, Ernesto, really quick before you go, Mitch in the comments says that hat, though. Give a shout out to who made
BB-8
that hat for you.
Yep, Nikki made this, so let me know if you guys want one. We'll sell you one.
There you go. You heard it here. Contact Ernesto to get a BB-8 hat. All right, man. I'm gonna switch off here so I can get back to the stream on the other window. But thanks for joining us today, and get back to work.
I will.
All right, later on.
Ernesto.
Awesome. I'm glad we were able to do that. That was fun.
Yeah, that's great.
But anyhow, so really appreciate everybody's comments and inputs on this topic. Please keep them coming. We'll try to read off what you're thinking. Obviously, that hat though, BB-8. Orlando, woohoo!
Yeah,
this
I
is
saw
cool.
in there
Doing
as well.
it live.
I saw a whole bunch of people talking about the crazy, awesome productions they're doing, as well as a couple switcher-specific questions. And a lot of these people that you're seeing commenting in here, if you are new to the stream, are people in our Switcher Studio enthusiast group. It's a great group. I highly recommend you check it out. If you are just wanting to get started, ask some questions, or just find a lot of really great information and see some great examples of Switcher being used. Also, in that user group, we do a webinar, a watch party webinar every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be in the comments there answering questions as well. So as we teach you how to get everything set up with that, or with Switcher Studio, getting started out with that.
Be there.
So with that said, Angela, you want to give everybody the how to get in there and join that group?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's 3 ways to do it. The first, of course, is by just going to the search bar on Facebook and typing in Switcher Studio Enthusiasts, and that's going to take you to the group. The second way, if you're on our Facebook page, go to the menu. There's going to be an option that says Groups. Click on Groups, and that's going to take you into the enthusiast group as well. And the third option, if you already have a Switcher Studio account, go ahead and log into that account at switcherstudio.com, and that'll be an option on your dashboard to join the online community. So any of those 3 methods will work. Once you request to join, there's going to be a short survey to fill out. It just lets us know more of how you're using Switcher or how you plan to use Switcher so that we can make things even better and more streamlined for you. And then after that, you've got full access to the group. So you've got tips and tricks in there from both, other Switcher Studio users and from us. If you need any kind of help, if you're wondering, what would be good for this event I'm doing, a lot of people are willing to jump in with examples of their own and tips of their own. And of course, people will also share examples of videos that they've created with Switcher Studio. So that brings us to our last segment of the day.
I wasn't ready for it.
No.
That's not the right one.
We're just switching it up.
Guys, I'm doing terrible today.
It goes to me.
Where is it?
It's like
I don't even know if it's here anymore.
It's like on Saturday Night Live when Shay says, "Don't cut to me."
Yeah, and then I put Jimmy up. I just throw Jimmy under the bus. No,
Let's switch it up.
Our graphic for
We're gonna switch it up.
The Switcher isn't there, so
We're not gonna switch it up.
hashtag made with Switcher.
We're gonna hashtag made with Switcher.
So on the hashtag Made with Switcher segment, we like to show an example of a video that was created with Switcher Studio that really stood out to us. We do recommend that you guys use the hashtag Made with Switcher anytime you share a video that was made with Switcher Studio on social media. We do go through that tag, we do look at those videos, and that's how we select one of those each week. So this week's example comes from Bellarmine University, which is near and dear to all of our hearts since we went there. And they did a TEDx program last week, and they used Switcher Studio. So this was a really cool example that was done. I've got some details right here of what they used for the setup. So they had 3 iPad Airs that they were using as the cameras for the production. You can see it going on right there. And they also had an iPad Pro as their main switching device. So that is something that we've recommended in the past. The Pros have those great processing power. So definitely for the 4 iPads they had, it was great to see them use the Pro as the main device. For the audio, they had an audio mixer set up, and they ran that through an iRig Pre, which is the adapter that we've shown the show quite a few times to use for connecting audio. And it's great because this was actually student ran. So 2 of the students took turns directing the show while the other ran around with a camera. So they were able to, completely do this production. There was a teacher who was operating a close shot, but the rest was all done by students. So it's great to see students doing this production as well. Another cool thing was everyone involved had little headsets on so that they could communicate with each other while they were live. So that's awesome to see. And that too, instead of having to run back and forth if something was an emergency, they could just let them know, hey, alter this angle or change this angle, or I don't know if this is right. So that way things are being able to be updated quickly and in real time instead of, kind of that panicky dodging back and forth in the background that happens sometimes. So we were just talking about different platforms. They actually streamed this to their YouTube channel, to the Bellarmine YouTube channel, And the event space that the TEDx was at did not have a lot of seating, so they actually played this stream from a projector into a much larger event space. So that way, those who couldn't be in, the original room could still gather together in that kind of communal setting, and they were still able to watch the presentation as it happened. So definitely a great job that was done by Bellarmine University and the students and the teacher, and a great example of something that was #MadeWithSwitcher.
Yeah, I actually, the professor who ran it I know really well. Again, we are Bellarmine alum, all three of us. So, yeah, we were there. So he actually reached out to me and was like, hey, could you help just set up just to make sure everything is okay? And when I got there, they had everything ready to go. Jimmy came out too.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get some B-roll of them setting up, but
it was done. I was like, well, there's nothing really to film because you guys have everything under control here. So
too speedy for you.
Yeah, but I was able to grab a couple pictures as well. So here's kind of where they were up in the booth. You can see there they've got their wide shot, the switcher setup, and the soundboards right there as well. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, there's one of the students actually doing the production. Here's just another kind of nice shot of their setup, and then here is that second room that we were talking about. They had it set up. I had no idea they were going to do that.
Yeah, the overflow really cool. Theater was like twice the capacity of the actual theater. So I found it interesting that they decided to do it that way.
I think they wanted to keep it intimate. Most of those TEDx talks are pretty intimate and small. So I thought it was a really cool setup, and I was happy to see them using it that way. I thought that was really awesome.
Very, very cool show. It was really cool to see them set it up as well. Well, it's about that time, everybody. We really thank you so much for tuning in this week to Stream Squad. Once again, we're here Wednesdays at 2 p.m. on Facebook.com/SwitcherStudio. We hope you come see us. Again, go ahead and follow us if you haven't already, and please go ahead and go ahead and turn on notifications. Anytime we go live, you can know when we're live. Subscribe to us on YouTube as well. We really appreciate that. From all of us here at Switcher Studio and the Stream Squad team, thank you. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.